Welcome, welcome, welcome back again here on the All Things Arkansas Football Show. We got a very special guest in the house, Coach Houston Nutt. I grew up watching you. Some of my first memories as a college football fan, this may probably break your heart, but is that 1998 season and how captivating it was. And as we were just talking here before we got going, I would never in my life, nobody could have ever told me that I'd be in Arkansas talking to Houston Nutt and we would start talking about hockey to open up the show. But man, how captivating was Sunday morning.
You know, and I'm not a big hockey fan, but
we're Americans.
Ever so often, you know, I watch hockey and in the playoffs. But boy, this the USA team, and you know, Peyton, as you know, to me, there's nothing like a celebrated locker room, and that is one of the best celebrated locker room. You can't buy that. And so when you're singing the national anthem and they're getting their gold medal, man, that's awesome.
And it's one of the things I miss more than anything is being in that locker room.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. That's the worst part of it all.
Yeah.
And Peyton, I don't know if you saw it, but you know, we're all fathers, and even if you're not, you can relate to this. The Johnny Gaudreau story, how he tragically lost his life, and for them to bring out, I lost it.
Yeah.
And I'm above anything else in my life, I'm an American.
Yeah.
And I'm a sports fan. And that's what was so cool to me about that. All the stuff that's going on in our country right now, and yeah, it's divided and, you know, red and blue and all that stuff. We came together for 3 hours. And, you know, when you're in a sports bar, you're watching a game, you know, you got Razorback fans, you got Tennessee fans, you got Florida fans. Everybody on that morning was an American fan. Made it so cool.
No question about it. And that's what you love about that team. You know, the team, as you mentioned, Peyton, that celebrated locker room. We don't care where you're from. We don't care your skin color. We don't care about anything except that togetherness, you know, and to say we did it. There's nothing like it.
I'm still interested. Like I said before, though, I watched it just for the drama aspect. You know,
unbelievable.
Canada, America hate each other right now. Tariff. I just want to see what went down. There's a fight. You know, kind of want to watch that too.
There's not much in the world that can get me out of bed at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. But that one did it, and it was so compelling. The kid losing his teeth. The game-winning goal, getting outplayed. And what blew my mind about it, the give-a-crap meter. You know, you got multimillionaires on the ice, and they are fighting and dying to win a gold medal. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like the teeth, no teeth. What a picture of that guy.
Oh,
you know,
how much
He
money?
ain't getting a date anytime soon.
How much money? He's dating Tate McRae, by the way.
Well, I mean, she's in it for other reasons.
And she's Canadian, so you know maybe we got a little divisive. What an image he's going to make. I don't know what your picture is that you've signed the most in your life, but that picture of him, no teeth, blood, the American flag, he's going to sign thousands.
That's
of those
that's the
copies.
picture that's in my mind right now.
Yeah,
he's gonna sign a bunch.
No doubt about that.
Kid's going to make a lot of money
Yes,
too. He's
yes,
going to
no
make
question.
a ton of money, and he's going to have memories for the rest of his life. So an incredible moment. So I just mentioned there, we got the United States unified for a couple hours. It was awesome to see, and you know, regardless of what side you're on, we're all Americans. I think you did an incredible job back in 1998 of unifying a state and a program that was a little down whenever they got, you know, into the SEC. How did you do it? And I see a lot of parallels to whenever you came in to what we have right now at Arkansas.
Yeah. You know, it was a lifelong dream. I never thought I'd be the head coach at Arkansas. I grew up Little Rock, Arkansas, and my heroes were, you know, I got to go to the Little Rock games. And so I knew all the players, you know.
Peyton's emotional about those Little Rock games.
7 years of age, I knew, you know, Lance Allworth and Kenny Hatfield and Jim Lindsay's and Harry Jones, John Britton. I can name so many of them because I knew them by name. My brothers and I did. So to grow up and then fast forward to be able to, you know, finally get an unbelievable break and coach this team was something. Now, I never will forget, Peyton, it was after the first week, had a couple of meetings, and I never forget going into Dean Weber's office. I said, Dean, I know I'm a small-time coach. I've been at Murray State and Boise State, but what am I missing? I see Joe Dean Davenport, Brandon Burlsworth, Clint Sterner, Anthony Lucas, Chris Chakuma, Madre Hill, Ryan Hale.
I forgot about Chris Chakuma.
Yeah.
Golly.
And all these good-looking guys, you know. And I said, what am I missing? He says, you're in the SEC now. You played in the Southwest Conference back with Coach Broyles. You're in the SEC. And they're 4-7 and 4-7 the last 2 years. So they don't think they can win. And so as we got into fourth quarter, I mean, these guys didn't shy away. Danny Ford, I mean, he got some players in here, and they were tough. And, you know, we did, as you know, Peyton, we did a lot of running at 5:30 in the morning in January, man. I mean, after signing date. Those fourth quarter deals are not easy. But these guys never, ever, I mean, they would do anything for you. They'd run through a wall. So I never will forget Brandon Burlsworth, after one of those meetings, came up to me and says, hey, Coach, in a very shy way, I really wish when you talk to the media, don't ever use the word rebuild. And I never forget that. I go to the staff and say, hey, guys, whatever you do, don't ever use the word rebuild. These guys want to win now, and they'll do anything for you. They'll do anything. They'll run 10 bleachers. They'll run 100 gassers. They'll do anything for you. They'll lay it on the line. So that to me gave me hope.
Yes, sir.
And then we still didn't know, still nervous wreck, but then we win 1, we win 2, we win 3. Then here comes Alabama. Alabama comes to Fayetteville, and I never will forget. Donna says, "You keep waking up. What's wrong?" At 2:00 in the morning. Alabama. What about Alabama? I said, Alabama. Sean Alexander, this big back. He's 240 pounds, and these linemen are 6'6", 300 pounds. And they run like deer, man. And I just don't want to get embarrassed, man, in front of my home state for the first time when Alabama comes. Because remember, Alabama recruited me when Paul Bear Bryant was there. And so I have all these memories, and this. I was so anxious about, golly, I just don't want to get our team embarrassed. And I'll be doggone if we don't come out there and we play lights out. Peyton, it's 42-6. I mean, really, I never forget. Sean Alexander, by the fourth quarter, when he took off running, he slid down. He didn't want to get hit anymore. And that's when I knew we got a team. We got a real team now.
Yeah.
And so that's where we really took off.
For me, when I think of a moment of your arrival, I don't know if it was the 98 or the 99 season. And I think it was the All Access show, right? The garage doors opening.
Oh yeah.
Do you hear that? You know, that the speech to the play and the visual and the moment was incredible. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember seeing that? Was that the moment you said, I have to do this? I'm good at football and I'm going to be a Razorback?
What year was this you're talking about?
I think, was it 98 or 99?
It's 98.
Your first year back.
That was the first speech. You know, in that indoor, that's where we came out. That garage would go up.
And
they've
it
gone
had
a long
been
way
building.
since then.
The crowds are getting bigger. You're undefeated.
That's right. And so that was really, it wasn't rehearsed. You know, it just kind of happened. They started calling the Hogs, and I asked the team, do y'all hear that? Because I grew up here now. I'm starting to get goosebumps thinking about Woo Pig Suey, and they're calling those Hogs for you. And I said, we got people coming from all over the state coming to watch you. And so, man, we were ready to go.
There's no doubt. I remember I wanted to go to that 1999 Tennessee game when y'all tore down the goes out here.
Which was such a great redemption story.
Yeah, it was a great redemption. That was one of my favorites. That was, anyway.
That was. It was the same score as 98, but it seems like the ESPN always played that 98 game a lot more highlights on that game than they did the 99, you know? 28-24.
It wasn't as big as a game, though, as it was the year before, though, was it? I mean, they were ranked, what?
I think they were 1 or 2 in the country.
Yeah, they were 1 and 2.
But we were like 15th or 17th?
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah, we were playing for a national championship that first year.
That's right. That's right. And you look at, they go on and win the national title.
Yeah.
And that's the game that really, there's 2 games that really keep us up in my dreams. One was the 98, the Tennessee in Knoxville, and the other one is in Atlanta, our Florida game. I feel like those 2 teams were good enough to go and win it all.
What happened? The Mississippi State, we lost to them that year too. What happened?
Yeah, that was the game.
Heartbreak.
Peyton,
is that what happened?
Well, that was right after the Knoxville game. Yep. We I tell you, that was a tough to come back. And then our kicker wasn't there that game, and we got inside the 30 about 6 times with no kicker, and that hurts. And so we get beat just barely. I don't remember score, but it wasn't much. Jackie Sherrill, they got us. But we came back and beat LSU the last game. Yeah. You know, got back up off the mat. But boy, that was a tough couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine the air that kind of lifted out of y'all.
Yeah.
After that game, because it was. I mean, it's not like how it is now.
We're human.
If you can lose 1 or 2 games and still make the national championship, back then, if you lost anything, you're not going anywhere.
That's the thing, Peyton. When you look at today's landscape, from 1998 to 2007, and Peyton was a member of 2 of these teams. I feel like there's 4 teams that could have gotten this playoff, and that's one thing I hate that we didn't get in those playoffs because I feel like they really would not want to play these Razorbacks. They wouldn't want to play us in December. We really, the one thing we did, we stayed pretty fresh in November and December. And this 12-game playoff kind of really excites me, you know.
Well, it
I like it more than I
rejuvenates
thought I
the
would, I
team.
do.
Like a Texas last year that lost 2 or 3 games, but they came on
Exactly.
towards the
Right
end.
there at the end,
If
yeah.
they got in, it rejuvenates your program to think, man, this is still up in the air.
Oh.
But back then, if you lost 1 game, you're thinking, well, that has to knock out a lot of hope.
It does.
It's tough.
Coach, I feel your emotion, man. You can really fire up anybody. But in talking about 1997, I don't know how much you've really talked about this publicly. That week after the Tennessee game, what were Clint and Brandon like?
You know, they were pretty quiet. You know, the one thing about these guys is they just went back to work. You know, they went back to work, but deep down inside, you could feel it. You could feel their hurt and pain. And not only those two, just about the whole team, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what I love about that locker room in '98 after the game. When the media, it was a very tight, the visiting room seemed like it was always tight, you know. And I could see all the players, and it was never an attitude, oh, I confess it's your fault. And so when they start talking about Clint stumble, Anthony Lucas said, no, I dropped a pass. That's my fault. I had a pass. I could have, it'd been another 6 points. And then Joe Dean Davenport says the same thing. And then our deep snapper steps up and says, I've never snapped a ball over a punter's head in my life till tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2 points. So all of these guys, you know, really were so together. And I loved our one heartbeat. And as painful as it was, these guys just went back to work. Now, it was still hard because I knew it's going to be hard the very next week because you asked about Mississippi State going to Starkville, which is not easy.
No.
It's hard, you know, it's easy to let one game beat you twice. And that was such a big, big game. And it was really, we're thinking, that could have been for all the marbles, you know. That's a national title game.
Yeah. I've never been in that.
How old were you then? 98?
I was 9th grade.
You
I
remember
think.
watching it, right?
Yeah, I was watching. I remember where I was at. I almost walked away from the television set because, it was one more drive. We just got to hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
And then that happened, and I couldn't believe it. I remember. There's no telling what you were feeling. But even at that age, I couldn't believe it.
Really a question for both of you, and I think you both kind of covered it, but Coach, you first. Is there a game, your time at Arkansas, where you're like, man, we had them. We could have won. We let it get away. The Tennessee game comes to mind. You mentioned the Florida game. LSU 2006 in Little Rock. That one comes to mind.
You know, we didn't get beat very much in Little Rock. And so that comes to mind. But really the one that sticks out is 98 and 2007. To me, those were two quality teams that just – and really what was ironic was Peyton was hurt on the punt return. Peyton was such a natural – that's not an easy ball to catch is the punt. And Peyton had such great hands, and he wasn't available for that play. Mm-hmm. And, boy, I tell you what, it's a killer because we put a freshman in. Yeah. And it's hard. Inside in the arena, it's your bearings, you know, and not trying to make excuses. But, you know, he lost his bearings a little bit because we always kind of told, hey, keep your heels on the 10-yard line. Let's don't drift back. Drifted all the way back, you know, and you fumble that ball in the end zone for him, you know, we gift wrapped it for him. And those are two of the most painful. And then you mentioned the 06 game. We had that game won in Trendon Holiday. I still remember him. He's about a 10 flat 100-meter took off on us. But
not bigger than that trash can.
Exactly.
Right
exactly. 5'9", 160, but lightning.
You guys had a tremendous team, and man, those LSU teams were so good. Those 06, 07 matchups, as big as their defense was, the way that Darren ran, the way this guy ran, that 07 game.
The 07.
I brought it up to him, and he barely remembers it. I said I got hit in the head too many times. Next to Darren McFadden, this dude was unstoppable on that day. You see his 50-yard run? Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean,
we play it on the show all the time. He doesn't remember it. Look at him.
That game.
The wheel route?
I see that game to me, it always pops up on something, you know. And when you look at Darren McFadden and Peyton Hillis and Felix Jones and Marcus Monk and our defense from Material Richardson, Antoine Robinson.
Yeah, DJ Williams.
Williams. I mean,
Jamal Anderson.
We had athletes. But these guys were so hard to stop. Oh, you going to stop? You going to stop Darren McFadden? And then he hands it up and guts him, you know, for 50. And it's not easy to go 50 yards to the end zone in the speed. The speed of this league is always the fastest. I mean, 99% of the time, the SEC, there's a reason why they get drafted the most in the SEC. And to have a guy like that, and then the hands to catch a ball twice, one was a fourth down play that we're all nervous wreck, you know, and Peyton finds a way to get open on that. And then the wheel route. We love the wheel with Peyton because, you know, we knew in camp when he was from high school, Danny would say, he got hands, H, he's got hands. And he could catch in a crowd, and a lot of people can't catch in a crowd. But, you know, they were just so athletic, and they could playmakers.
The game that gets me the most, and he's already covered it, was the Florida SEC championship game.
You were not on the field.
No. And I wasn't going to miss him. I ain't probably not going to run it 100 yards, but I'm going to catch the daggum thing.
No question.
And I knew, I mean, that bothered me for a while, for a long time. And it seems like the reason why I like Coach Nutt so much was because nothing was ever perfect. We would have quarterback problems or something, but he always, like, the people he had to get the ball to, you couldn't get the ball to everybody. Yeah. But wherever he did try to get the ball, he would do it in the strategic way that he should have. And he was always good at that. I always thought you were great at that.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah.
We mentioned the 07 game, and man, that LSU team was loaded. Won the national title that year. Peyton, what do you remember about that week? And really, to a lesser extent, about that season, with all that had been circulating around Coach Nutt and the future and some of the divisiveness on this team. Remarkable that you got a team that ready to play on that stage, given what you were going through.
Well, for me, I don't know near as much about than Coach Nutt does, because I mean, he was behind the scenes with everything, with the media, with the coaching staff, and everything else. But what I remember was kind of like everybody just counted us out. You know, they counted us out of that game and what we're going to do. We felt like we're going to fall off, and he held us together. I mean, he held us together, and we always felt like we could beat everybody, no matter what our record was. And we went out there that day, and we kicked their butt that day. Mm-hmm. We really did. That was good.
Exactly right. You know, that's the one game that there was so much being said. There's so much. It could have been a big-time distraction, but the one thing that we knew is we knew how close our team was. Our team was very, very close. Our team really loved one another, and they would fight, and they would fight for one another. And the one thing, it's funny getting off the LSU after being 10 years there. The LSU fans would get there early to have a lot of pops, and Cajun food.
They were well hydrated.
Oh
on that
my
day.
goodness! And they would say something. But the one thing I always remember, besides kind of trying to cuss us out, y'all going to get beat today. Coach, no, we really respect your teams. They knew there's going to be 60 minutes or more.
They're throwing stuff at the buses, but we have a mile of we're just driving up, but they're throwing stuff at you.
And they teach their children to throw stuff too.
So I think if memory serves me right, I think you're asked right on the field after the game, like the first thing they ask is about your future. And all I remember is grabbing Darren McFadden and calling out Lou Holtz and Mark May. Did you know you were going to do that? Or was that organic?
No, that's organic all the way. In fact, I'm talking to Tracy Wolfson, the CBS reporter, and Darren comes up with the
baseball
bat. That was the
we got that wood right here.
And so what made me mad is Mark May and Lou Holtz, who I love so much, they wouldn't, on their Saturday night ESPNs, they didn't have him in the top 5. Why do you not have this guy on your top 5 Heisman voting? And so it just came out, it came out. They get this guy on that list, and so, no, organic all the way.
I remember after that game, I was going around trying to kiss all the cheerleaders. I had a few. And then, hey, Danny,
we're peeling back the curtain here.
Listen.
Was the problem with this guy?
Danny followed me everywhere.
You had a get back guy or something like that?
I can't explain to you.
Funny.
Like, looking back on it, Danny Nutt was the best running back coach in the world. In the world. And not even that. He was just so funny. I mean, he was a great guy. We loved him to death.
Was Danny the one that came up with the Wildcat?
Gus was running the Wildcat in high school. Here's where Danny made a tremendous difference. We're in two-a-days, and Gus had just put that in. And it's the old single wings. There's a lot of teams that run single wing, but Danny says, hey, do you really want to make this thing go? I said, what are you talking about? This Wildcat that Gus brought over from Springdale, this Wildcat can really go. You got difference makers. You got Peyton. You got Felix. Felix with the lightning motion. Darren played quarterback in high school.
Option quarterback in high school, right?
9th and 10th grade. And he has a natural throwing motion.
Yeah, he does.
And so this guy could handle it. And that's the only thing, Gus, are you sure he can get the guy in motion and take the snap? And Danny said, I've seen him. He can do it. Let me work on it a little bit. Let's do it. He did it the first day. Gus says, that's it. And from the lightning motion to the run, and you're running the same plays. But here's what's unbelievable. Because when you have Peyton up here, and he's kicking out, and all of a sudden, now Darren fakes the lightning sweep. He acts like he's going to run 4-power, then he rears back, and here they come. They're overpopulating the line of scrimmage. You forgot about number 22.
A different version of play.
Oh,
action,
my
yeah.
goodness. And, that was a critical score, and that was Darren's worst throw. If you go back
The
and look
LSU
at it,
game,
it's his worst throw of the year. This guy has to go back and make the catch this way and has such great hands, but that was a huge play. But Danny really doesn't get enough credit for that. Danny really made the Wildcat. Then David Lee, who was with us the next year, he took it to the NFL.
Yeah, he did.
And the NFL started running it.
Miami, right?
I'm still surprised they don't run it a little bit. I mean, I know they still do a little bit, but just for, I don't know, intensive purpose, I would think they should do it a lot more.
Right.
But they don't have running back groups like we used to have. No, they just don't have them in the NFL anymore. I mean, they just don't.
And it really was the offense that Gus ran with Cam Newton, largely in Auburn, with just much more of a throwing threat.
Right.
A couple of weeks ago, we had Ryan Silverfield in here, and Peyton asked him, like, hey, can we get Darren McFadden's number retired? So I tried to interrupt him because you know how this works. I don't want to put Ryan in a bad situation where he's got to answer questions.
Right.
Hey, that's kind of out of my control thing. But we can ask you. Should his number be retired? Or are you cool with the patch? Because, hey, maybe that means something to a kid from Little Rock, to a kid from Bryant. I'm coming to Arkansas, I'm wearing number 5.
Well, I like the patch, but I'm like, I think his number ought to be retired. I really do. The guy came in twice behind the Heisman Trophy runner-up, and he should have won
it 1 year.
Should have won it.
He's got to be the greatest player in Arkansas history.
I mean, he's top 5 running backs of all time in college.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One thing Peyton loves to talk about here, we do on our show, is we love to talk about money and funding. Did you struggle with funding at all whenever you were here, and finding the money and improving facilities and doing things for recruiting for coaches, or do you feel like it was just a very different time?
It is a much different time. The one thing that Coach Broyles always did, I'll never forget, after the 98 season, he says, what do you need? I said, I need a meeting room, and I need a player's lounge, and I want an eating facility, and I want the guys to be gym rats, because unlike when I played, we all were under one roof. Mm-hmm. We lived in Wilson Sharp, where now the rules changed, where only your freshmen could live on campus, or your redshirt freshman, and everybody else is in apartments, condos. And so he said, good. I said, I need a weight room. It's good. Let's do it. And so he said, yes, yes, yes. When it comes to recruiting, now he didn't like the, coach, I need another $100,000 for a defensive coordinator. Don't know about that. Don't know about that yet. Houston, I'm going to have to wait on that one. But he would be unlimited as far as facilities, recruiting, and all that. And then he says, are you done with what you need? I said, yeah. He said, I've got one more thing. I said, what do you want? I want a new stadium, 100,000 seat stadium. I said, no, coach, don't do that. Why not?
We don't want to renovate. We want a new one.
He said he wanted a new one, 100,000 seats. And I said, coach, don't do 100,000 seats. He said, why? I said, we have 55,000 now, and I love when our fans have to hold up 3 fingers and 4 fingers. They can't get a seat. I want it full. We'll get it full. And here's where he had the vision, Peyton. He had this great vision. Listen, I'm going to compromise with. He compromised with me. He went to 72.5. 72,000. And I'm still thinking, he ain't going to get this. He's not going to get this sold out. First game, he comes to me. Clorinda, is Houston in there? I said, he's in there. Comes in.
He did the accent.
Oh, yeah. He said, what did I tell you? I said, what, Coach? I told you it's sold out. Every seat is sold out for the first game. So 72.5, that stadium, of course, still rocking and rolling right now.
Yeah.
He had this vision.
He was the first with, I mean, I know we weren't the first, but the Jumbotron, like we were like the first few to ever have that one.
I think at one
That
time
big.
it was the largest in
At the
college.
one time. It lasted for maybe a week or so, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's his vision, though, that you're talking about.
I hear you doing the Frank Broyles impersonation. It's spot on. Does it bother you? Because I hear this guy do it. Does it bother you that people impersonate you?
Oh, no, not at all.
No,
Go
listen.
ahead.
No,
We had Trey Biddy in here last week, and he
Trey
spot
didn't
on,
do it, did he?
Spot on.
Did he?
Hey, Coach, he did a pretty good job.
Did he
I'm not
really?
gonna lie, he did a pretty good
I
job.
gotta hear that.
But when it did, he just has a unique gift. I don't care what your record is or how you're feeling. He would walk into that meeting room and he would just toss that hat down the ground. Let me tell you something, man. I feed you. I velour you. I Gatorade you. I don't know what else to do, man. And everybody's like, he's right. He does do all that.
And that's what you miss. That's what you miss.
Oh, yeah.
It's the
No,
relationships,
but-
and
Coach, I swear to you, you may not believe me when I say this, but at least once a week, he used to come in and say, these are the best days of your life, man.
true.
It is
Best
true.
days of your life. And you're thinking at that
It is
time,
true.
I got a lot longer. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna play in the NFL.
It's
that
by
stuff, yeah.
far
Yeah.
the best days of your life.
Yeah.
You just did not realize it.
I know. Oh, my goodness.
Coach, what do you feel like needs to happen to regain that type of success that we had when we were playing? And I guess a little bit with Petrino when he came after us. What do you think Arkansas needs to get back to as far as at the organizational level and, the grassroots level with the team? What do you see what Arkansas needs to do?
The biggest thing, the last, 15 years or so, when you watch, the one thing I'm watching recruiting and I watch everything. I hated to see an Arkansas player leave. I hate it. Well, and I understand now because of the free agency, you want to get older. Coaches feel like, hey, I got to save my job. I can't have time. I don't have time.
Yeah.
I trust 22 more than 18.
Yes, I hate the thing of not being able to develop that deal. But, boy, when you're Arkansas, there's something about, if you go back in the history, something about the grassroots of your – I couldn't lose Peyton Hillis. I could not lose Darren McFadden, Sean Andrews. Couldn't lose Jonathan Louise. You can't lose those guys because here's what happens. When you come to two-a-days, those 4 stars from Texas, Georgia, and Florida, they say, oh, that's how a Razorback practice. Oh, that's what a Razorback means. They almost just organically help that outsider to
Almost
become,
like they care too much.
yeah, like, oh, that's what a Razorback's is. Because it takes that. If you do the study of from the national championship, the only one we have, look at the Arkansas homegrown in the lines, the line of scrimmage. Your best teams are when they're Arkansas. Nobody knew about Dan Doty from Heber Springs. That guy was an all-conference player that developed into an unbelievable player. Mark Wright.
This is why they need you to head up fundraising, right here.
I'm not gonna argue, but you know what I mean. I'm just going to stand at that. But do you feel like now it's more a year to year for coaches instead of a 4-year plan like you used to have? Like, I'm going to get this recruit of guys, and then they're going to be this good 2 years from now.
I like the idea used to be 4
question.
years. Now it's like 2.
Yeah, it's a great question, Peyton. And I tell you, the days of the 4-year window, 5-year window, days are gone. So it's almost like a 2-year deal. Like, you got to get going.
Well, I also see like with James Franklin, what he did at Penn State, and then he got fired.
9.5 wins for a decade.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, is the coaching realm too? I mean, is there no room for error where they're going to fire you now even worse than it was when you were coaching?
Yeah.
And I didn't understand the James Franklin thing. I mean, I feel like he should still be there.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully he's successful there at Virginia Tech. We'll see.
Yeah. You don't know. But I the one thing, when we went to the SEC spring meetings, Nick Saban, Phil Fulmer, Mark Richt, we wanted our guys to have money. And that's where the cost of attendance kind of started. So
you're going back 20 years ago.
I'm going back 20. My last season with Ole Miss was 2011. But even before that, we started talking about the players having money, right?
The NCAA is nobody to blame it themselves. This went on for too long.
And I remember as an Arkansas Razorback I never will forget asking Ken Turner, who recruited me. I said, I got a check here for $6.25. What is that? It's their laundry check. I said, laundry check. So what I do? Use it for laundry? He said, no, you use it for whatever you want. So I was pumped up. So I got all the food I wanted.
6 1/4.
I got 6 1/4. I could use $2 for gas, $2 for a burger. Man, I was fired up.
You got us per diem too. Like when we played, we got a couple $100 per diem, I think.
Yes.
I mean, that's
for bowl games.
Yeah.
I love it that the players that are getting paid, and I do think they should be paid. However, along the lines of what you're saying, I don't think they ever really had it that bad.
No,
people like
no.
Peyton Hillis,
the
Darren
fact-
McFadden getting educated
when you-
and changing generations. I don't I would love to get your thought on this. Like, are you bothered by what the game has become? Because I don't feel it's about education anymore or, doing something first for your family. It's all about what are you going to pay?
I don't ever hear APR anymore. Academic progress rate. That's all they used to talk to me about.
And nobody's ever ineligible. You never see that.
And I've helped people transfer. Peyton, I've helped them. If it doesn't work out, I get it. Not happy, I get it. But I always wanted them to stay for a year, at least a year. I didn't want Mitch Mustang to transfer after just one semester, and you got to play. I wanted you to stay. Stay at least a year. Then if you're unhappy, then go. But for them to go from school to school to school to school,
you're a mercenary.
Come on.
Well, what do you think they should do as far like I brought up maybe a 4-year contract where you have to stay, they'll pay you the money, but as soon as you I mean, even NFL, you have to abide by your contract. You just can't leave.
But they can cut you.
Yes, they can.
And in college football, they can fire coaches. Now, they're getting 8-figure checks to go away, but they're still, fired.
I don't like players. I'd say give them one. You get one transfer. Go play immediately. You get one. You don't get 3. You don't get 4. You get
Houston
one.
Nutt for college ball commissioner. Right?
You get one. You get one. Okay. Only other thing I'd change is I don't like when a quarterback makes 1.3 or 2.4, $5 million. I hear on some of them, and your left guard makes $20,000. I don't like that. I
kind of brought up the situation where a university can decide either you can do NIL, right, or what was the other thing? NIL or transfer portal. You can do either or. You can't do both. Yeah. And I think that would maybe even the playing field a little bit because, you have to really stick to your game.
And here's one thing, too, Peyton. I got to thinking about if we were in this situation where we're getting paid money, players getting paid money like they're getting paid now. Some Sundays I'd go in there and say, hey, Johnny, starting with me, I'm going to give back a little bit of my check. Since they're paying now, coaches $7 million, whatever, I'm gonna give back a little bit of my check because I didn't do a good job. I want you to give back a little bit of your check because you didn't go full speed either, and you've had 2 fumbles, and you didn't go to class. So I'm gonna take about $10,000 from your, I think that's real. You want to play real life?
Well, yeah. And they did that in NFL. They did NFL. I mean, you show up to a meeting a little bit late, or your socks are not high enough. I got fined $10,000 because people pull down your socks and you go to the huddle and you don't feel it, and then you go to the play. And they'll rewatch those films, and they see that they'll charge you 10. I mean,
wow, that's extreme there.
I don't know how it's changed,
but I do like what we're talking about, though.
No doubt.
We want to play real life now, but real life ball,
and that's what college is about: real life experience.
That's what it looks like.
But I mean, it seems like that's the kind of thinking we need. Also, because I really believe that he cares about the kids too. Yeah. Or he wouldn't have come to that conclusion. I mean, I think there's a lot missing.
Yeah, and in fairness, these are all great ideas, and these are all things that are talked about. Coach, knowing all that you know and how involved you are in the sport, can they make these kind of changes without Congress getting involved? Because it seems like they're just too scared of lawsuits.
Yeah, it looks like Congress is going to get involved. It looks like it's just
the president just had a meeting with Josh Pate.
Yeah,
it's getting some things going. Yeah,
it's coming. I don't know.
Whenever you put lawyers in the middle, that's when everything starts falling apart to me. You know what I mean? I mean, when we were playing, you never heard people just suing the NCAA, going for a 9th year.
They lost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, the rules were so settled back then. You knew what the rules were, so I mean, they just go based off that. But now there's no rule book. There's nothing, and people can do what they wanted.
Do you feel like you had leverage? Man, that could be a little extreme. But did you have leverage whenever it was like you could transfer, but you do know you got to sit out? Like, that was a real deterrent?
Well, it was. I mean, I just think there's something about senior day where, hey, that's my school. Where now there's no senior day.
Arkansas had 31 seniors last year, multiple players that were taking part in their second senior day.
That's what I'm talking about right there. And then now you got 40 new players. Somebody's talking last year, Coach, can you break? Listen, I don't know the team's good enough. I can't help you. Because there's 40 new teams at Auburn, 40 new players at Auburn, 40 new players at Arkansas. I can't help you. I got to wait. I don't know. And so when you say I have leverage, it's like Peyton says, we didn't think about it that much. We recruited you for a reason. We want to try to make it happen. And then after a year or year and a half or so, if it doesn't, I understand. Hey, you're not happy. I transferred. When I thought that they're running the ball too much, I wanted to throw. So I get it. I understand that,
Well, I got 2 questions I really would like to hear your opinion on. And one, what do you think about the Lane Kiffin situation?
$12.5 million a year.
Of how I guess, how he left Ole Miss, how they wouldn't let him coach and all that. Do you feel like this is a new realm of college football where even the coaches now are just, I'm just opting out and taking the next best
You know
thing?
what? I really didn't like it, Peyton. I really didn't like it, man. I saw Lane Kiffin had one of the best teams he recruited, and you're getting ready to play for all of them. You're getting ready to go, hey, you got a chance to win this whole thing.
At a place that never has won it. You know what I mean?
Ever.
That's what it is.
So
They
do you-
never been to the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
Do you think they should have let him stay and coach in
No.
the playoff?
No.
That was my side. He
Okay.
thinks, you know,
Well,
Here it is, Peyton. Here it is. Okay, so he holds them hostage for 2 weeks now. Before
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
Don't forget about that. He holds them hostage. Let me think about it.
Yeah,
Let me think
he
about it.
knew
Let
the
me
whole
think about
time.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he going to LSU. LSU's better. I get his better job, but I like what Keith Carter did. Keith Carter says, "Oh, you made the decision to go." Yeah, but Lane says, "I'm going to come back and coach the team." No, you're not. We're not going to be an advertising billboard for you. LSU new coach. Lane Kiffin's coming back to coach Ole Miss. Nope. I respect that. I respect what Keith Carter did.
I think you have to draw a lot. You know, he's going to take coaches here.
Yeah.
He's going to take players here, and we're going to play him next year.
Yeah.
There's just something fundamentally wrong.
Right. And then he says, "I'm going to take some players if you don't let me coach," or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Now,
that's
I don't know what all's true.
And,
I hear rumors.
and
but-
he did behind the scenes. This wasn't public. He kind of tried to blame Ole Miss, like, they're to blame, and you know, he was.
But
the
what
one
happened? He didn't expect them to win that second round. He didn't expect
No,
them
he
to go beat
no.
Georgia. You know.
But I
What-
thought that
and then-
Chambliss kid, I think he is incredible.
He's coming back.
But I mean, he is spectacular. I don't know if the height's going to affect him going to the next level or not.
He's a
It
winner.
should.
What a winner!
But I mean,
What a winner.
he's incredible. I mean, he really was. Nobody was. I was looking at that Texas A&M kid. I thought he did well, and Carson Beck. I thought he kind of came on towards late. You can tell he's a winner too. But I thought those two guys would.
Chambliss was just.
Yeah.
Oh,
But the next question is, as far as the college football playoff, would you like to see it less teams, more teams, the way it is? What do you think would be more efficient?
I mean, I like the number 12. I think that's pretty good. You know.
You like it more than you thought you would?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I was more of an 8 guy.
I was too. I wanted 5 champions and give me 3 at large. But now I kind of like it. I like it a little bit more. Now here's the thing that I really wish the Tulanes, and I have a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect
We
for
talked.
them.
We talked
the
about
head
this.
coach of the Boise State Broncos here, but before there was a
I'm all for
Statue
it.
of Liberty, we had Houston Nutt.
Hey, look, I want them to go play their championship, really. Because what happens, you know, Texas probably should have been in that. As their
And
player.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, those two.
Notre Dame, right?
Peyton's been working with us for a couple months now. One thing I love about him, he is so passionate. He cares so much. Like we've done stuff with him, you know, when it got away from Pittman, through the hiring process, and he literally just could not hide his emotions. He cares so much. He loves the state, loves the school. Did you feel that when you were recruiting him?
Oh, no question. No question about it. I mean, of course, we had a great relationship with Ken Smith, and of course, Danny was the first one to see him live. And Danny comes back to the staff and says, "We got us a football player. Wait till you see." We're excited because he's coming to camp. And camp, you know, you do all these drills. Well, he's winning all these drills, these hula hoop drills, and catching the ball.
Yeah,
with one hand.
I was doing all the defensive lineman drills. I was trying so hard to get recruited.
We got a football player. We don't know a position, but we got a football player.
He is doing it all. And, you know, he looks like $1 million. I mean, the guy has
You might as well
muscles
put him
coming
on the
out
cover
here.
of Madden.
Might as well.
He looks that
Put
good.
him on Madden like he did. Oh, no. We're super. We knew he had it.
I'm going to come back to this. I just can't help it. But like I said, when Frank Broyles left, I mean, I know he retired. It's probably time for him to retire, just because of age. I love what he did there.
Same thing with Nick Saban.
But I mean, I felt like after that point, you started bringing people in that cared about the numbers, and not even just the X's and O's, and not the personal relationships, but
it's become a business. More
it's
than
a
ever.
business.
It's business.
And I understand that's where we're at, and we have to adjust. But there's something to be said about that old pride and honor that not just the players would have, but the coaches. Dean Weber, Dean Weber wouldn't give his left arm for the University of Arkansas. People back then just cared more, and I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to stand on that, and I'm hoping that Silverfield will come out and shock the world, because he's a great guy, and I mean, he says all the right things.
Yes.
And honestly, he's the first coach that actually invited all the players. He's called me a couple of times. Hey, come out to 6 a.m. workouts. Come out to spring ball. That's ever since you left, nobody's ever done that.
Peyton, he's the first coach that's called me.
That's awesome.
The first
See,
one.
there you
First
go.
one.
Called you.
First Razorback
not a
coach.
text. He
First
called
coach.
you.
First one. Called. First one. Just like he called the players.
Yep. And I
And
love
it-
that.
and it
I mean,
means something. It's
It
a great
does.
step.
I mean, he didn't have to do that.
No.
He did. He could just left us out
Because
to
it's just
dry.
like what you said. I was reading this in Texas. What you said is, I don't know if you said I don't feel welcome or something like when you
Yeah.
were trying to when you moved back
Yeah.
here. Here's a guy that's put away, sweat, blood, and tears on this field.
Bled on the field.
And you're not going,
Well, I even said, I was like, look, you don't have to pay me. I just want to come out and help in any capacity that I can. And it never heard back. And I understand, hey, say we don't want you, say we don't need you, but, call me back, text me, do something. And I understand that this is a business and you're going to make decisions. But I felt like in anything, I mean, a house divided against itself will not stand. If in your house or in your family or on your team, if you don't have guys that are in there that love it and want to be there, like I just seen a big mistake happening. But that's me.
Do you think he'd make a good coach?
oh, yeah, right now. Right now.
I'd bring Danny with me. We'd be running back coach,
Hey,
son of a gun.
Here's the one thing I know. They take care of the ball. The one thing that Danny, again, another thing I'm partial, but I've seen him do it too many times at Murray State.
Eagle claw, forearm, rib cage.
And they'd go to sleep. They'd say it 1,000 times a day with 3 points. of credit.
Did you make the kids carry a ball? Because back then when you coached, your kids had to go to class.
Yeah.
Were you one of those coaches? You got to carry the
we
ball?
put emphasis. we
He's
didn't make
upset
it
he
go.
had to go to class,
Nah.
by the way.
No, he made sure. And I remember after those 4 a.m.s, we had to wake up and go there and run. And I would have a 7:30 class, and I had to get my butt in the shower and go up there and walk. Walk. You had to walk up those hills to get to class. He would make sure. And if you miss class, hey, heard you missed class. And he'd have 6 or 7 people following us around. It felt like the FBI.
Were you a front row? Were you a front row guy?
Oh, no, well, it depends on what class it was.
How many cheerleaders were there?
If it was those math and science class, I'm in the very back. I'm not raising any hands.
That's beautiful.
You talk so much about your emotion for Arkansas, and whenever you came back here, I know as a coach you have to downplay it. You just have to. You got to say, hey, I'm not bigger than the game. It's about my kid, just another game, all that stuff. What was that emotion like, given how much time you spent and how much you loved it here?
You talking about coming as a coach?
Yeah.
First, man, it was just
Because I feel your reflection, 20 years after the fact, is a lot different than what you would say publicly at the time.
Yeah, but it was, it's just a dream come true. You got mom and dad so excited at the press conference. They can't believe it. You got brothers that, hey, Razorback coach. It's unbelievable. You felt this awesome responsibility that you wanted to please so bad, and that's all you thought about. How are we gonna win? How are we gonna get this thing done? And because you're realizing you're in the very, very best conference in America.
Mm-hmm.
There's no easy ones. There's no give-me's.
And what about the emotions as an opposing coach whenever you came back?
Now that was the roughest.
But
that was the toughest
and
ever.
you didn't say that publicly at the time.
No,
Because
I tried to be
as
cool.
I said,
but
you got to.
I'm gonna tell you something. I could not sleep that week. Peyton, I'm telling you, I could not sleep. And here's what was really tough: going into the visitors' locker room. I felt so dirty. I couldn't. Dadgum, this don't seem right. I'm on the other side.
But you wanted to win too.
Ooh. Now when that, when that whistle blew, and that's where you look in the eyes of those other kids, and they're saying, "Coach, let's go now."
Oh, they knew when they were coming. Yeah.
Oh, they knew.
Yeah,
They knew.
Yeah.
They knew this game was, it's big.
I think publicly there was just a lot of commentary around your exit. Do you feel now? I just saw you at the basketball game. Are you comfortable being back?
You know what's amazing?
And was there a time where maybe you didn't feel comfortable coming back?
My daughter says it best. When we go out to eat and, hey, Coach, no, we got a couple of Cotton Bowl tickets out in the car. Can we get those real? Would you mind? And it would be one after the other. And my daughter says, Haven says, Dad, I think they like you now. They didn't like you in 07. I think they like you now. And so time has done that. And then I also see that, we did do a good job.
Well, comparatively, and that's what I like to say. Like even me, like I didn't realize what you had until it's gone. But you look at those years, and like I was saying, you don't see a lot of coaches that when I came here my freshman year, my sophomore year, those were down years. And you knew that. But we were winning 3-4 ball games a year. But then we go my junior, senior year, and we start winning again. I mean, you don't see a lot of coaches that, have a falling off that get back to that. Yeah. And because then I look at that, the situation there in Clemson, and they're talking about firing him.
Yeah. Sure are. Yeah.
After 1 year. And
multiple
I was thinking,
national titles.
Yeah. Be careful.
It is just, it's a shock to me how fast that things have sped up and how you don't have a lot of wiggle room to do anything. I really want to know what the inside details of Reggie Herring and you behind the pink jersey.
I thought that's where we were going.
No, because when that happened, I thought it was brilliant what Reggie did.
It was a killer.
It
was a killer.
I just want to know what he
you probably knew, like, we might
here we go.
In some trouble here.
First of all, whenever I knew Coach Broyles was bringing some alumni, some administrators, I said, Reggie, alert, vocabulary alert today,
away.
Please. We got some chancellors coming. We got a minister, please. And he said, okay. Yeah. And that still didn't do it most of the time. But he said, hey, I got something I want to do. I said, what? And he shows me this pink jersey.
Yeah.
I want them to wear this if they don't do what they're supposed to do.
I love it.
And I tell you what, I got so many letters that about the, what was the Susan Coleman, cancer.
Breast cancer, yeah. Well, how did the word get out?
Oh, it got out quick.
No, yeah.
It got out quick.
Because your practices were closed, right?
I'll tell you what's amazing is most of my practices early on were open until later. Oh, Mike Irwin will tell you when it was exactly.
Yeah.
But they got mad at me for closing one time, and then they found out I'm the most open coach there is, man.
But sorry to interrupt, but yes, I was here 2010, 2013 under Bobby Petrino. The access has gotten worse with every coach.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily Arkansas's fault. That's just the way of the sport.
People got cell phone. They're going to film you.
Yeah.
So, but what were you asking?
You were talking about the pink jersey. Pink jersey. Reggie Herring and Susan G. Coleman had reached out.
Oh, I mean, I'm getting letters.
You got the chancellor and like the CEO of Walmart at practice.
What are we doing? And so Frank Bro says, Houston, we got a problem. We've got to get rid of the pink jerseys. We got a problem. I said, okay. I said, Reggie, let's put up the pink jerseys.
I mean, but that blew Reggie's freaking brain. I cannot believe.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as straightforward as a guy, I mean, he was incredible. I really liked
he had great intensity now on defense.
Golly.
He did.
Coach Nutt, thank you so much for your time. We got two things for you here to wrap up with. You've been so generous. Been awesome to see you guys reconnect here, and thank you again for coming in. What's the biggest hurdle you feel that an Arkansas coach, an Arkansas program faces in order to compete?
In today's world?
All things on the table. Administration, the state economy, the alumni base, the state recruiting. You put it all on the table. What's the biggest issue as to why they can't consistently be an 8, 9, 10 win program?
I think they can, but I think the biggest issue is you're gonna have to sell people on it's a money game. And I think you'll have to get in a room and say, hey.
And people may not like it, but it's reality.
It's reality. Hey, guys, we want a team. And we'll hold them accountable. We're going to make them do right. We're going to make them play hard. But, guys, we got to compete. We got to compete. And if we want to beat the Auburns and Alabamas of the world, I need your help. And that's the way of the world. I think that's the biggest thing.
How do we not need that?
How would you do it? How would you get aligned? How do you get the Walmarts and the Tysons and the JB Hunts? How do you get them all on board?
Oh, we going to lunch. We're going to lunch right now. Let's go.
I love it.
We're going to lunch. We got to go get it.
That's perfect.
And just to be clear, you've never been offered or maybe reached out to by the university like, hey, what would you think of blank? As far as never happened.
No.
And you
like I say, Ryan Silverfield is the first one, like Peyton, to call him as a player. First coach to ever call me.
Yeah.
And so I'm appreciative of him and look forward to meeting him. I hadn't met him. I'm going to meet him sometime this spring.
First spring practice coming up March 15th on a Sunday. Final thing for you. Last week we got into a pretty heated discussion. Sheridan boy right here, right? No, you're not from Sheridan.
No,
you're from
I'm
Conway.
not.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Trey Biddy was from Sheridan. Games in Little Rock. Looks like there's a real good chance they never
He's
play
going to
another
agree
game
with me. You
in
don't need
Little
to
Rock.
say this. He's going to agree with me.
Now, I understand the importance. I do. Coach, maybe objectively, do you understand why it's a little difficult to continue playing Little Rock, or do you say no? Forget that. This is our tradition. Let's keep doing it.
Got to keep doing it.
Oh, Yeah. You
Hey, we don't even one. Don't even one good one.
Coach,
One good one.
No, see,
One good one.
I can't. I'm not.
How are we going to build?
here we
How
go.
are we going to build the stadium
I'm
for
not
one
like
game a
it.
year?
No,
Here
listen.
it is. Here it is. Y'all, you know a guy named down there, Mr. Warren Stevens.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, Warren, need you. He'll get it done.
He would.
He'll get it done.
Hey,
You're going to dump $100 million in that stadium for one game a year?
May get two. One may go to two. I know it's tough
Did you
recruiting. and all
ever
that,
view
but
it as a disadvantage?
You're
having
asking
to
the
bus,
wrong guy. I'm from Little Rock.
to bus your kids to school, to
Never.
the games. there and
I
there.
heard that. I heard that from somebody.
Brett
We
Bielema
love
started
those.
flying back.
We love those times. That time was so good.
don't-
It cleared your mind. You're
They don't-
going to the Rock.
But he also put us in the best hotels, though, too, though.
Yeah.
And
And
we knew we
food.
were going to stay at that DoubleTree or whatever it was down there in
With
Markham.
the cheerleaders?
Well,
With
I don't know about all that.
No.
But that wasn't me. But I'm just telling you, it was a different feel, especially when you played LSU. It was something where you could bring
Yes.
all those fans that couldn't afford a ticket south of Clarksville that can go up there and pay for a ticket to get their kids into the game.
Okay, hold on. So what he said? Remember? Listen to what he's saying. Thanksgiving. Okay.
Yeah, so
They're
that
gone. Thanksgiving. The students are down there.
that is a problem.
That's a problem.
With the campus is empty, but can you dump $100 million in that stadium for one game every 2 years?
We got people that have it that it's like a dime to them.
You can buy really good defensive linemen and quarterbacks.
We got to
with
have that
kind of
too.
money.
We got to have that too.
How
Gotta
well
have that
do you
too.
know these Stevens and Tysons and stuff? I mean, that's
You
what we
looking for a
really
job?
do.
You
I
looking
know.
for a
Shoot,
job?
I'm looking to get somebody a job.
But hey, David Basil did such a great job. Hey, they're
Yes.
banging on the bus, Peyton. They're on West Markham. I got chills thinking about it right now. They're banging on the bus. That ain't no away game.
No.
Is there,
That ain't a way
is there
game.
magic? The two Miracle on Markhams,
Magic.
the 2010 season you weren't here, but when they went to the Sugar Bowl, is there magic in that building?
Magic.
Coach, how many
Magic.
did you lose in Little Rock your whole career
I
here?
want to say one.
It's-
Maybe two. Maybe
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
But no,
It wasn't many.
It's not more than two.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Not more than two. We were rocking and rolling in the Rock. Ask Marvin Cass and those guys, those first year guys, Peyton. They describe it the way Peyton describes it. We're gonna eat right. We're gonna stay in a great place, and then we're gonna come on that bus ride, and all those fans are in that golf course, and they're walking out, banging on that bus. Let's go home.
And at least 50% of the players are from Arkansas too.
Yeah.
And they're probably from that area. You know what
So
I mean?
knowing what it means, knowing Warren Stevens, all that stuff, do you think they probably will play a couple, not every year, but maybe a couple games?
I don't know if it's gonna be two. Like, I'm hoping it's.
I don't
gonna be
know.
one.
I don't think it'll be
Right
one.
now, it's not any,
Yeah.
And I understand that most people, boy, you're recruiting and then this and that, and you got all these reasons not to. But I'm going to tell you this: there's a farmer in Eastern Arkansas, and a family like the Nutt family. We didn't get to go to Fayetteville. We could afford to go Little Rock.
We didn't
That
have
was
we didn't have a
exactly what he
road
said.
when I was
Right.
we didn't have I-49. We didn't have any of that stuff.
No.
It was harder to get to Fayetteville.
Yes.
and it was down to Little Rock to go play. Yeah,
You're doing that.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember we used to look at the schedule of here, which games are in Little Rock, so we can go.
Yeah.
That's how it was when I was a kid.
Well, and when you were a kid, it was 3 games, right?
I was
I
getting
think-
4. How about that? 4,
1998. How many games you played in Fayetteville?
2.
That's crazy.
No. In Fayetteville?
I think it was 2, right?
No, more than that.
Okay, I thought Trey
4.
Biddy was in here last week. He said you played 2 games at Fayetteville that year and had 3 in Little Rock and 1 in Memphis.
No, that's wrong. Double check that. Tell Trey Beatty that's wrong.
Trey,
He knows a lot.
give him
I
a
don't trust.
call.
I don't.
Give him a call.
I don't ever contradict Trey Beatty because I know he's an encyclopedia, but he's wrong on that one. He got more than 2 games in Fayetteville.
Crazy to what it's become. And I don't know if it's Arkansas State or what the opponent is there, but
Did y'all go to the Arkansas State game?
of course.
How was it?
I didn't go to that.
Good.
One. I didn't go.
So, and that is my defense of the poor people in Little Rock, that, people in the administration, people in Northwest Arkansas would be like, well, they're not going to the games. You're playing Pine Bluff and Missouri State.
There you go.
And it's 95 degrees outside and there's a threat of thunderstorms. Why?
Somebody's coming around. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's starting to make excuses now.
You got it
Coach.
right.
As a stubborn person like myself, if I was playing football, I wouldn't want to be on the bus and then bus back and all that stuff. I'd want to play on campus.
This is simple.
Now,
Where are
if-
you from?
If I was a
Where
kid,
are you from?
If I'm from Pittsburgh,
A
if
Yankee
I was
from
a kid-
Pittsburgh. Of course, he ain't gonna want to come to Arkansas.
If
Little
I
Rock.
was a kid from Conway and I grew up
Yes.
going to those games
There you go.
and you told me, "I'm sorry, we're not going to play there anymore," that would piss me off.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean,
You understand?
And I'm not going to be too oblivious about it. I understand the game has changed where you're probably not getting a lot of kids from Arkansas, and you're not I mean, you're paying all these players from somewhere else, and maybe they don't have the pride. But I feel like that's what we're missing.
But
here.
you
The
have to
sense of unity, pride.
You
something that
got to
brings people
understand
together.
though, the times just change. It just is.
I don't mean we have to.
And now, and I will also. I'm going to defend this wonderful state where I met my wife and all that. We love living here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It is great. I understand what it really means to these people, but you do wonder if times change. And what is so cool about the Little Rock thing to me is it's your tradition. Penn State doesn't play a game in Pittsburgh or Philadelphia. Wisconsin doesn't play a game in Lambeau Field. Arkansas plays in Little
Georgia
Rock.
does.
That's cool.
Don't
They'll
they play in Mercedes-Benz Stadium a lot?
usually they're the road team. Like somebody will buy that game, but no, they don't. Shout out to Coach Houston Nutt. Really, no team in the SEC prior to Nick Saban had a winning record above 500 against Alabama. Arkansas was, and then Nick Saban showed up, and things did change.
Well, I mean, back in those days, it was what, Florida, Tennessee,
the
LSU.
the East was better.
yeah.
Yes,
East was rough. Yeah.
and then the West was a little down because Alabama was down for 15 years.
Yeah.
Well, by their standards.
It was good.
Good stuff.
Coach Nutt, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Hey, the door is always open. If we make this an annual thing, maybe a preseason thing, whatever it may be. Peyton Hillis
Go through Peyton. Yeah.
doing big things over here. Look
Yeah.
at this.
Hey, I'm just trying to say, you bring like minds, brilliant minds, and we start telling you how things need to happen, Trey. That's what we need.
But hold on, you think that I'm anti-Little Rock? I'm not.
Hey.
I'm not anti-Little Rock.
Governor Sanders.
I bet. Yeah.
She's for it.
Imagine that.
Might
What
need
do
to give her a pay a little bit.
What do you
Might
think
need
she's
her
going to
a-
say?
We're using our tax dollars to pay the players anyway. Let's use
There
it
you
out
go.
there.
There you go. Let her pay for it.
I feel like I'm being attacked.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Out of time. Special thank you to Peyton Hillis, Coach Houston Nutt. Best of luck, whatever you're doing, anything you ever need, please don't be a stranger.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all.